you guys so much for joining this week's ScotWeek podcast. I'm joined today by two lovely Scottish gentlemen that are in St. Andrews, Scotland. We have Graham Dalton and Andy White. They are the co-founders of Adamson Links. So Graham and Andy, tell us, what is Adamson Links?
Thank you, Kelsey. Thanks very much for having us both on. Adamson Links is, I suppose, it's a little dream company that I've kind of fallen into, and Andy have fallen into, and it's a travel business which is mainly it's sort of focused on golf and actually bringing people from all around the world to come and visit Scottish shores and arrange bespoke golf tours for visitors. But also the company provides bespoke tours for various other things, and that we can provide around Scotland. But the main sort of catch, I would say, was golf. I think Andy and I are particularly passionate about golf, and we think that there's no better place in the world, really, if you are an international visitor or even a national visitor, to travel to and come and experience the wonderful links and also other hidden gems and inline courses that are here in Scotland. So it's a brand new business. We maybe started around about September last year, and we've been building it slowly since then. And things are going well. We've got some clients, and we're looking forward to developing this business as we go forward.
That's brilliant. And Andy, we were talking about this a little bit before we started recording. What makes you guys unique? Because I understand you have some very special and bespoke tours for people.
Yeah, well, thanks, Kelsey, and thanks for having us on as well. I'll repeat that there. So, effectively, the way when Graham and I set this up, it's been in the background for maybe 2 years, and we launched officially a year ago or so. And one of the phrases that we came up with was kind of, which we don't use publicly, but it's make it properly bespoke, which isn't very good marketing. But so you read a lot about, well, make a bespoke tour, but effectively things are off the shelf. So we've spent a fair bit of time over the past 2 years or so doing research, doing visits, and making sure that whatever the client wants, we can hopefully provide here in Scotland, be that anything from wanting to stay in a castle, want to stay in a palace with private rooms, right through to 5-star hotels around Scotland. Do they want helicopter transfers? Do they want luxury chat? Do they want left alone? These kind of things, and trying to build it all into an itinerary for the client to make sure they're happy. And although Graham's absolutely right, the focus of the company and the tours are all based mostly around golf, and obviously we're in St. Andrews, so there's no better place to be based to do that. But we're seeing now there's more families coming over. It's not just the old traditional groups of men coming over, if you like, which was always the old-fashioned way of doing it. So making sure that even if there are non-golfers in the party, then there are things to do all around the country, effectively, be that whiskey tours, Outlander tours, for example, Harry Potter tours for kids. We can go windsurfing on the beaches here in St. Andrews. These kind of things are trips into towns as well. So just to try and make an all-round experience for the family, effectively, and make sure they want to come back as well. You can't do Scotland in 2 weeks, that's for sure.
That's definitely for sure. And just to follow up on that, one of our board members is Graham McTavish from Outlander, and we have a huge Outlander fan base here in Southern California and America. And I was talking to someone, Daniel B., he's a publicist that's a really dear friend of ours and a supporter of ScotWeek. He was telling me that since Outlander and also Gerard Butler, tourism has increased in Scotland by 40%.
I believe that. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. My total aside, this is not the business. My wife is a big Outlander fan, and even before we started looking from a tourist and business point of view, I was being dragged around various castles and things around Scotland, and that was the ulterior motive. And even in St Andrews, within 15 minutes, there are 3 locations that are used quite widely in Outlander. So I'm told, but I have seen these now. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you can bring your family over and do a day of golfing, and then in the same day, say 3 Outlander locations?
Yeah, well, within 15 minutes of St Andrews, there are 3. There's the big town square, and I'm sure it's in Inverness, is in a village called Falkland, which separately has a palace, which has the oldest tennis court in the world in it, and it's where the royal family used to stay when they came to Scotland. That's 15 minutes away. There's Dysart Harbour down the road, which is filmed many of the harbour scenes, and I'm trying to think. There's a place where is the Palace of Versailles in Outlander, and I think it's Falkland Palace. But you can tell I've not watched every episode, but that's just a taste, effectively. So the idea would be that effectively there's probably nothing more tiring than having, say, a week or 10-day golf trip and having 10 games of golf as a family. It needs to be broken up. The last thing we want is clients to be out on their feet and shattered by the end of it, and basically trudging around Scotland. That's not an experience that any of us want our clients to have. So Graham and I try and get as involved as possible with that, because we like to think that we're very, very professional but very relaxed as well, and make sure that people have a good time. And make it as friendly and informal as possible, effectively.
And Graham, just looking at the website too, and for those of you listening, please go to adamsonlinks.com. So Graham, when I was looking in there, there's a huge culinary aspect of what you guys do, and being a huge foodie. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, I guess Adamson Links, the name, it comes due to the reason of why I'm back in St Andrews. I was a student here at university, and after graduating, I ended up following a different path of career than we're doing now. I ended up being a sort of a professional actor. I went to the Royal Academy of Music in London and took myself down there. And then that led to a commercial career. And I was based in London and New York and then London. And my family phoned me up. There was probably just maybe 2009, 2010. And they told me that they had purchased the old town's post office. And it had been the town's post office in St Andrews for 100 years. And I remember actually going up to see it with my father the first time that we got the keys, and it was really, we decided that we would create a restaurant here in St Andrews, and that's been my sister's background, and I was asked whether I wanted to come and get involved in it, and so I did. So I moved back up here to St Andrews to go through the entire build process. So the Adamson now actually just reopened yesterday after lockdown, from it being closed for 3 months. So it's been quite a strange period here in Scotland, as it has been around the world, but it's great to have it back open. But we're in our 9th successful year in the restaurant business there, and it's been a multi-award winning business there. We've won quite a few awards, and I haven't exactly got the full names, but as well as checking out Adamson Links, you can have a look at www.theadamson.com as well, which will give you all the information about the restaurant. And then due to the restaurant and meeting people from around the world and people that are traveling from to come here to play golf, and also visit Scotland in many ways, I just built up a big connection with golfers and friends and developing this, and that's really how it kind of morphed into the idea of setting up a travel business and a golf and a hosting business, as we're doing right now, and that's where the name came from, Adamson Links. So we wanted to have the whole connection, and it's quite funny. I get people that are, you know, traveling back on a plane to Philadelphia, and a friend of mine says, "Oh yeah, I was just sitting next to somebody and they just had a meal in your restaurant at the Adamson." So it's become quite a well-known spot here, and we wanted to use that name and that connection for the travel business that Andy and I are now championing. The one thing that the Adamson has really taught me, and it's really shone through into what we are trying to do, is that we want to provide a very, very personal service for people. And I think that's one thing that the restaurants taught me is, you know, it's really, this business is all about people, and it's all about trying to understand what your guests want, and what and I would always call them guests. You know, they are guests and stroke friends, really, of what we're trying to do. And it's that we want to provide them with not what we think that they should do. I mean, we're obviously here to always give them ideas about what we think that there is around and what's great about Scotland, but actually find out about the person, and find out about the group, and find out about what their interests are, and how we can really tailor all the experiences that are here from Scotland, be it golf, as Andy had mentioned, be it travel, be it whiskey tours, be it you want to go and see the North Coast 500s, you want to get involved in going to, you know, let's just say you want to go and do some gun dog lessons, or whatever it is, there's some falconry, or whatever there is. I mean, our remit is, if you actually tell us what you want, we will go out and find it. I mean, it is, as we said before, that you are looking at the original plan of a golf tour, and that is absolutely our makeup. We've got such a huge passion for that, and such a great contact base, and quite a great understanding, and also showing people that may have been to Scotland and played golf many, many times. There might be a few other things that they haven't done, so that's one area of it. But also they might say, do you know what, I've come here, I've done that, I've seen that, but I want to do something different. We can suggest something different, or actually just take the time to have a chat with the guests and friends, and find out what it is, what they want to do here, and be able to show them all that Scotland has to offer.
That's fantastic. Now, I have a very serious question. Speaking of tours, I am a firm believer that the Loch Ness Monster actually exists. So do you do Nessie lookout tours?
He actually, quite a lot comes down to St Andrews. Just when we've got certain groups that are after him, he does a little tour down from Loch Ness and just pops up in the sea here, Kelsey. So,
oh, that's fantastic! How convenient! You don't even have to leave St Andrews.
No, you don't even. If that's what me and Andy, we can organise that. Andy looks great in a Loch Ness Monster suit.
It's bespoke, Kelsey.
Exactly. Take one for the team, Andy.
Yeah, no,
sorry, Andy.
Sorry, just kind of adding into you know, joking apart, but what Graham's absolutely right. Our passion is primarily golf and arranging people having a good time. But what we do is we bring in specialists effectively to organise or help us with these tours. You wouldn't want me taking you on an Outlander tour. I mean, might come along with you if that's what you wanted. That's absolutely fine. But you certainly wouldn't want me directing you, for example, or certainly wouldn't want me to take your kids windsurfing. So we bring in the specialists into Adamson Links to make sure the clients have a really enjoyable time.
Oh, that's brilliant. So, and I have a confession to make. So I've putt golfed, but I've never actually golfed before. And it's on a bucket list thing. And I know St. Andrews is one of the top golf courses in the entire world. So if I came over with a group, do you have someone that can just teach me how to golf, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, Kelsey. I mean, we're very close to a lot of pros who would be able to help teach groups. I mean, for example, that's something that we would absolutely do if there was, as Andy had said, the traditional golfing group would be probably 4 or 8 gents who want to come across and experience touring around, and we absolutely do that. I mean, that is something that we were more than happy to help. In fact, that was for Adamson Links that we've signed up. We've signed up a great group of friends that I've known for a long time, and they're coming across, and they've been here before, but they've helped support us and help grow our business, and we're showing them other things that they've not done. But then I think there is a big market for couples to come across, and sometimes some of the ladies or wives don't golf but want to learn, and we would be able to provide, you know, the highest standard of professional training that people would work with you to find out whether you like it. I mean, the key to golf is I think I can see, Kelsey, that you're a natural. You can just tell by your manner. But the thing is with it is that you know, and we'd be able to give people a good hand and a good experience, and it wouldn't be, you know, there you go, there's the old course, try and learn what you're doing. We wouldn't do that to anybody. We would always be like, this is where you start, here's the basics, how can we get you involved? I mean, I spend my time now training my kids and training my nephews, and it's all about building up that kind of experience, and then that also would give the chance for people who are very proficient at golf the ability to go out and have their experience as well. So as Andy and I have been saying, we're pretty much flexible to cater for what everybody is looking for.
And to add to that, if that's too much, we have the most famous and best putting green in the world in St Andrews. The St Andrews Ladies Putting Club, the Himalayas it's called. It's fantastic, and you see children from 2 to 92 on there every day, and it's just an amazing experience. That even if you're an experienced golfer, it's fantastic. But those who have never picked up a golf club before just have the time of their lives on it. It's great fun.
Oh, it's brilliant. Sign me up. It's like the bunny slopes of golf. I'm there.
That's the hardest membership in town to get, Kelsey. But I think I think you'll break it.
Oh,
you'll
good.
Get there.
I'll just bring a bottle of whiskey and hopefully make some friends.
Good start.
That and a Mars bar. A bottle of whiskey and a Mars bar, you'll be in. Deep fried or just a regular Mars bar? Just regular, but they may deep fry it sometimes.
Brilliant. So I know that you guys in Scotland have just come out of lockdown. What are you guys excited about? What's next for you guys? And what are some things that people can do to support you guys, whether that's a patron or a business or an organization? What's next?
I'll take that if you want. I think, because I know Graham's looking forward to a haircut. That's one thing. But yeah, I think to be fair, what's really happened to the company through lockdown is the first initial month or so, nobody was really sure how long this was going to happen. So it was almost business as usual. Obviously, we had to cancel trips and things like that, which was absolutely fine. Luckily, every trip that we've had planned so far this year that has had to be rearranged has been pushed back into 2021 next year. And that's been easy enough to arrange with all the other providers and so on at this end here. As we're now coming out of lockdown now, there's obviously still issues. It's still quite a tight lockdown compared to what you have over in LA, for example. Very, very strict protocols still in place here, such as quarantines, for example. That's the big thing that's affecting travellers making decisions at the moment. So we're not sure how long that's going to be in place. But we're now beginning to get inquiries for next year, because I think there is a bit of a attitude now that people have gone through this situation, right? What are we going to do? What are we going to do next? We want to experience life. It's not all work. So we seem to be finding these inquiries are in the last maybe 3-4 weeks have started to pick up again for next year. So trying to slot, and it's not just in St Andrews, we're trying to slot guests and parties in on golf trips, but throughout Scotland as well. So that's what we're really kind of now doing is looking into 2021. I've still got my years wrong. 2021, with the potential we might have a couple of guest parties coming towards October, November time. But again, it depends on quarantine regulations.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm really, really excited for you guys. And Cindy and I, we're still planning. We have our books, our plane tickets booked. We'll be in Scotland all of September. And our plan is to go around and doing a vlog and our podcast and we would love to meet up with you guys in person, obviously safely, and interview you guys in person and maybe have a wee dram or two.
Well, Kelsey, you and Cindy have just booked yourself an invite to the Adamson. So me and Andy will take you and Cindy for dinner at the Adamson, and I'm sure we'll be able to supply some fine whiskey to you.
Oh my goodness, you guys are too much. Thank you so much. We're so excited. And is there anything else you guys want to add? And also, how can people find you? Are you guys on social media? How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously at the moment, what the business was trying to be is that, as I said, I mean, if you check out our website, and there are many other golf companies and travel companies that are out there that will give you the whole idea. One of the things as we developed is that we really want this to be a particularly personal service, and I think myself and Andy found that we didn't want to give too much information on the websites. We may have to, we're obviously very passionate about what we do, but we're also business people, and we want to try and develop what in the best way that we can. And we may well have to develop our website further, and people can have a look so they get more in contact with us, and that starts to spread word of mouth. Andy and I have been working as well with our design team. We work very closely with a designer that I've been using in other businesses for many years. And I was just chatting with Simon today, various things, and he's given us a really good social media platform for us to start using. And I think we are really going to have to start pushing social media in some ways. It was a balance between whether we wanted it to be, we're not sure if that was the way forward, if we wanted to be quite a select bespoke thing, but I think we're now going to try and increase our social media presence, an understanding of what we're trying to do as a business, and also really, I quite like the idea of what we've got with a website at the moment, but we're also always keen to listen to other people and their advice of how we can develop and how we can really move Adamson Links forward as well in the marketplace.
That's really exciting. Well, I encourage everybody listening right now to go visit adamsonlinks.com, and please let us know as you progress in developing your social media presence. And thank you guys so much for being a part of this. This is really, really exciting what you guys are doing. And I love the idea of having a bespoke, tailor-made vacation for me. And it's going to be so personal. And from falconry to Outlander to whiskey to Loch Ness, it sounds amazing. So thank you guys so much.